Hey everybody, this is Rob Gauthier, Kalina Angell from ET Whisper. How you guys doing? We are here for our June monthly webinar. Everybody who is here, I wish to welcome you. Everyone who might see this in the future, I want to say hello to you guys too. Today we have an awesome event for a lot of awesome people. We've got Aridif and Treb who are going to come forward and bring the information from your guys' questions. So what we can do is, if you guys are on the YouTube page as was instructed and you guys are all here, there is a chat room below. And in that chat room, on the right-hand side of your screen below the video, there's a place where you can type your questions, and I'm going to show you by writing "Hello everyone" from my own account, and that way you guys can see where it is. That is where you'll type your questions, but please, everyone hold their question until Kalina tells you to go forward. Because this is a chat room, because the questions can go so fast, she has to be able to go through, make sure that she gets all the questions, make sure she's able to see and able to ask in accordance to everything that everyone needs. So please make sure to hold the questions there first. We do have a couple announcements before we get ready to go. Before we do that, I don't know, Kalina, well, maybe let's do announcements first. We have an announcement for our Asheville 3-day workshop, which is going to be happening less than 1 week from today. It is going to be 5 days from now, on Friday the 17th in Asheville, North Carolina. We are doing the 3-day Asheville workshop. It is the metamorphosis of a new fifth dimensional being, and into the center is the idea. We're going to have Metatron, we're going to have Aridif and Treb, we're going to have myself channeling them, and then Kalina is going to be channeling the Arcturian 103 Collective, which is the new, well, not new, they've been around for a long time, but she is newly sharing that information with everybody. And she's going to be making her channeling debut there. It's going to be an amazing event. We're going to spend 3 days doing Q&A with channeling. We're going to be doing workshops, teaching techniques about how to start out your fifth density, or not fifth density, sorry, fifth dimensional journey, fourth density journey. And it's going to have a lot of great tools to use. There's still a little less than 10 spots left for anyone who's interested. They can go to etwhisper.com/workshops, and if you go there, you can check it out. If you are on our email list and you haven't registered, there's a $50 discount, and before the day is up, we're going to put the link inside of the chat room on YouTube so everyone can get a look at it. If you're interested and you're here today, we'll give you a $50 discount for that. And I'm going to make sure to actually send that to everybody right now. After we do that, I wanted, what else can we share about the workshops we are?
Oh, it's just going to be awesome.
It is. It is going to be awesome.
Last year was really incredible, not just for everybody, but for Rob and I too, and for all the guys that come through Rob, that come through myself. We're going to be covering things that even Rob and I are currently learning because, you know, we're all going through that 5D transition together. So obviously Rob and I are not exempt from all the changes and everything like that. So we're excited to learn with you guys. For those of you guys that come, we will be filming it too. So if for whatever reason you can't, you'll have the opportunity to get the information there. But Rob and I are really, really excited. We love Asheville. It's just an amazing, amazing vortex of energy. If you've never been to Asheville, North Carolina, definitely check that out. Whether you're coming to the workshop or not, it's definitely an amazing place with a lot of spiritual energy. So, but yeah, I'm trying to keep it short so that we can get right to it because this is exciting. It looks like so far it's a smaller group, which means more questions for you guys. Every once in a while, when Rob and I get busy and we don't get enough time to like really advertise, that actually really benefits you guys. So you're really going to have a really good time, I think, with asking questions. So speaking of asking questions, Rob, you said you were going to have it in the discussion area, or because I wanted to know where I would be picking up the questions.
Right there in the chat room, the text room.
Oh, it's a chat room?
Yeah, well, it's a chat room built into the video.
Okay.
So it's right in the comment area.
It's my computer's not letting me scroll up very easily. And so I'm going to try to see if I can. It's the inner scroll, that's why. Yeah, I just need to make sure that I can copy paste, because what happens is I get the questions, I copy paste. If you've already asked your question, I would say wait and to ask it again until after Rob starts channeling. Because what I do is I have to copy it and paste it into a notepad. I just want to be ready and to be able to get all of your questions. Sometimes also when people make comments, it goes up and down. So when the time comes to ask questions, I would ask that maybe just ask the questions, post the questions, so I can grab them, and then we'll continue to converse in between later, because for those of you that might be new to asking the question format, because we're new to YouTube, doing it in this style, we were using a different system, and we always like to have really fun conversations in between and on the side and make comments, so that's always fun. But since I'm new to grabbing questions from this area, I'm just going to ask that once Rob starts channeling, post your questions. That way I'll be able to pick them up, and we'll continue on. Once he starts really getting into the channeling, we'll continue with the discussions in between. That makes sense. That makes sense.
It does. Yeah. Makes sense to me.
Oh, sorry, I'm talking so fast because I want us to have like a ton of time for us to really go over what we're going to go over. So.
Absolutely. It's brilliant, baby. Thank you too for laying that out for everyone. I just want to remind everyone to please make sure they wait until they send the questions to Kalina before we get started. And I also wanted to let you guys know that if you've never been to one of the webinars, which it looks like most people who are here have, that what we're going to do is I'm going to take about 5 to 7 minutes to neutralize my energy, to breathe, to get in the center of my own energetic space of neutrality, so that I'm able to bring Treb and Aridif through in the very best way possible. What that means is, although all of you are here, we're going to shut down the camera and microphone for a few minutes so I can breathe, listen to a little song, and just neutralize my energy as good as possible. And then when we get back on, we are going to be taking your questions live. Kalina will walk you through the whole process of when to ask questions and everything. So she'll let you know when those questions are going to be needed for her. And then we'll just go from there, guys. I want to let all of you guys know I am so grateful for all of you guys being here. I love you with all my heart. Kalina loves you. We like to get through as much of the energy as we can in the month to share information and stuff with you guys, because we know how important that reflecting off of another source of energy and information can be. We're going to be releasing our Galactic monthly video here in about 3 days too, so you guys can use this and all the other things for the benefit of your guys' self and for the benefit of others. So we're going to shut it down for minutes. Sound good, baby?
Yep.
All right, we're going to shut it down for 5 to 7 minutes. When we're there, Kalina will let you guys know too, for anyone who might just be joining in newly, that we will be right back.
You know what? Since you're neutralizing, that might be a good time to start sending in your questions, actually. That gives you guys something to do and something to formulate. Also, it looks like those of you that are here, I think you all know who Treb and Aridif are, from, I believe all of you do. So what we're going to do is, if you could let me know if your question is for either Treb or Aridif, or either or. I promise they don't get offended if you choose one over the other. They don't mind at all. They don't get offended, so don't worry. I know sometimes people are like, ooh, I have any questions for Aridif, tell Treb, sorry, you know, but that's okay. They don't mind at all. So if you want to go ahead and start posting them, I'll start collecting them, and then every once in a while I'll let you guys know whose questions I got. That way you know if you're in. If I haven't written out your name, then I'll try to either look for your question or I'll have you repost it. So Yeah, go ahead and start questioning while Rob neutralizes. And if you guys have any other questions or comments, feel free to contact me. We love you guys, and we will be right back.
All right, we love you guys. We'll be right back. We're going to shut down cameras, mics, get a little funky with some music on this side while I neutralize, and then we'll be back for your guys' Q&A. Pleasure.
Just
So
let me grab more than one question at a time.
Oh, nice.
Great.
All right, so we're going to head out, guys. Please feel free to start sending in the questions. Love you guys. Hear me now? Can you hear me now?
It says still no sound.
All right, I'm going to wait a couple. Can you guys hear me now? There we go. Can you hear me now? All right. That's good.
Still no sound.
All right. Yep. So we've got sound now.
Can you guys hear me now?
All right. There we go. All right, everybody. Sorry about that echo, but we had the sound going through our speakers so we can make sure everybody has sound now. I take it you guys can all hear that. Beautiful. All right. So here we go. I'm going to reiterate what I just said because it's important to do so. For those of you who are just joining us, for those of you who have just never seen Treb Bor Aridif coming through myself in a channel state, the reason why I explain this is the energy that you have in your question is going to give you the reflection. And I'm going to tell you exactly how it works. When you're asking a question, there are literally thousands of layers of your energy inside and outside of your physical body in your auric field. When you ask that question, out of all those thousands of layers of energy, there's a certain part that ignites. For instance, if you ask a question about finances, that has something to do with your safety and feeling of abundance. If you ask questions about a relationship, then it goes to that part of your energy that deals with relationships. So when you ask it, that energy ignites within you. It can connect to your spirit guides. It can connect to lots of different things like galactic family, hybrid children, angels, all of these different energies. And that's where Treb and Aridif can see. And today we're going to bring Aridif in first. So when you see that, when you feel that, when you get that question asked, if you're asking with an alignment, with happiness and excitedness and an energy that's just really happy to be here and happy to be in this conversation, they can experience that and gain access to more information, more clear information. When you come at it with a sense of sadness or frustration, anger, then that is also reflected back in the answer. And it's not that they'll be mad or frustrated or angry at you. It just comes back to you with less information. So if you want clarity on your question, try to energize yourself, try to meditate and breathe a little before you ask the question. And that way it'll help them give a better reflection. So I'm going to start in just a second. When I do, what I'm going to do is start breathing. And I'm going to om. And as I do that, that clears up my energy to make the best connection. And I suggest when you guys are at home sitting listening to this, you can go ahead and do that too. So breathing and oming and doing all of that will help your energy align. The reason I tell everybody this is I just want you guys to have the best reflection possible and the best energetic connection possible. So enjoy yourself, have fun. Thank all of you guys so much for being here. We're so happy to see you guys here today. We love you very much. We'll see you on the other side, okay? Now I'm going to do another drink of water like I did before, but at least you can hear the water drink this time.
Lucky guys.
Mm-hmm.
He's got his infamous large jug of water.
All that, and it has to be just because.
It'll probably be gone by the time we're done because Aridif loves water for you, apparently.
Yeah, Aridif is a bit of a water hog as we go through the channeling lately. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and jump right in. I love you guys. Thank you for your patience with the sound and the privacy links, all of those things that have been an issue today. Thank you guys for that support and love. Retrograde through Capricorn energy is almost gone. In a few days, it'll be
Thank
clear.
Goodness. We're both Capricorns. I'm a double Capricorn, so
it affects us nice and broadly. We've been for the last couple months with like 6 retrogrades. We're going. All right, guys, enjoy yourself.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to the other side now. Greetings to you all. This is Aridif. That is Aridif. This is its spell. We understand that many of you have queries for this day. Before we dive into these queries, we wish to express that you are loved. We also wish to express our own greetings to you, Kalina.
Thank you. Welcome, Aridif. Thank you for being with us today.
Yes, it is a great pleasure to be here with you in all of the co-creation, to reflect energies from one another, whilst all of us expand, experience, and learn together. Before diving into your queries, we also wish to express the state of affairs for your Now Time Collective. This is an idea that is expressed through the intent of Rob to share what is new in the world, what all of the things that you are seeing with your own eyes reflect back in the collective consciousness. We understand that in this moment, there is the concept of a mass shooting that has occurred in the United States of your area, in your planet consciousness, in the state called Florida. Florida energy in this moment is a great deal of sadness, a great deal of worry and concern. Now we understand when you look at this concept, it can cause a great deal of sadness, disconnection, fear. But it also represents the manifestation of what is happening in your collective consciousness, a manifestation of how the world's energy is combining, manipulated within your own consciousness, experienced as an external manifestation of the entirety of all of the collective together. Now, when this concept comes, one can ask, why does this occur in that way? What is it within our own energy as a collective that would cause a manifestation of such caliber, one of such great disconnection when we are trying to find our connection, when we are working towards the expansion in the connection of the collective consciousness? So what we share with you in this moment is this. As you all experience the concept of your politics, your election for president in the United States, it has caused a great rift between the populace of the country itself. And because of this disconnection, because all of the world looks at this one election and sees all of the manipulation, all of the energies of discord and all of those two polar energies, very conservative and very liberal, fighting against one another, there is a great deal of stretching the energy of connection. There is a great energy that tries to divide within collective consciousness. Now, when you look at this shooting in itself, what has it done? It has divided very few people, but has made many more connected. Whether you are liberal, whether you are conservative, there is still an overall desire for life to be well, for violence not to occur, for random acts of disconnection not to take place within that connected consciousness. So what does this do? It brings many people on both sides of those fences together. It brings many people a connection from the heart, but there is a division within that connection. There is the concept that religion is what has caused this shooting itself. that the beliefs and thoughts of a certain religion are what cause this energy of this person or persons to come in and start hurting others for no reason. That in itself is a connected concept, an idea that is initially put out in order for division, for people to say, I knew that that religion was not correct. I knew that people in this religion are crazy and will do whatever they need to hurt others needlessly, which only, again, causes disconnection. So if we are to express our own perception and ideals, our own communication on how one can perceive if they choose, is that this experience will bring many together, much more together than what it will separate, reminding yourself of that connection, the unison, how a great deal of energy has tried to divide for many months within your collective, and now it is able to assemble, recollect, and reconnect that energy. To use that as your own focal point of energy will only give this experience a greater connection to your heart. It will only give you an opportunity to still mourn, to still love, to still feel sad, but also know on a greater scale, it is mending the hearts of many more than it has hurt. So in that essence, allowing yourself to play your own part in the collective consciousness, you can do a great deal more to manifest things that do not need to be as a grand scale in order to do the same things. Now, many of you look into your future, manifest, and when you are manifesting in your future, what you can do to prevent this is stop seeing that the world is divided. Try to see where it is connected. Now, we understand it is almost impossible for the human consciousness to look at all of the things happening around itself and say, I am living on a 100% connected conscious planet. We understand that most of you truly believe that is not the case. You believe that there is a great division. So we are not asking you to ignore what you believe is obvious. We are not asking you to reroute your mind and consciousness in a way that only benefits you, that makes you feel happy without care, ignoring all things. What we are saying is, in any time, whether good or bad, try to see the connections between people. Try to see the connections between yourself and others. Try to see the connections before the divisions, and that will help allow a moving forward in your manifesting. What you can also do, there is a great belief in many of you that says in order for a great change to occur on the earth collective consciousness, something large and horrible must occur. There must be a great war, there must be great shootings, there must be civil unrest in order for it to cause many people to be on the same side, to put aside their differences. And yes, this has been your planetary history. In all times of connection, in larger portions of groups of people, what has occurred is tragedy has brought others together, but that is not the only way. There is a great deal of many of you, especially now that your internet collective consciousness has sprung forward in most every human's life upon the planet. It gives all an opportunity to place an intent to connect with others just for the benefit of connecting, just for the benefit of providing an energy for the collective consciousness that is positive in the polarity of energy that you desire to be. When you see the world split in two, you feel as if you must take a side. You feel as if you must do something. But all you yourself, in your consciousness, in your focus, need to do is place an awareness within yourself of what you desire, and not invest yourself on the oldest beliefs that you carry, not invest on those beliefs that say, before great connection must come great tragedy or division. So in that essence, we wish to express to all of you, we feel your connection in the heart. Express that externally in all areas that you are able to, that you feel that you can. And you will start seeing the manifestation of that occur externally. And we thank you. We are now ready for your queries.
Thank you so much, Aridif, and I really appreciate that you addressed that, because
that was like the first thing that Rob and I pretty much woke up to this morning, hearing about that. And it was just so sad. And sometimes it feels hard to go back into, you know, like that loving space, because it was so sad, you know, and those things you have to try to work on balancing and understanding. And so we had our own feelings about what that was about. But I just want to say that I send love to, you know, the families and friends and anybody that was there. And any of you that want to take the time in this moment to send that to them, it's a good time to do that. But my heart goes out to you, because I know that some of you listening may know some people who were in that. So, and thank you again, Aridif, for sharing your love and your wisdom regarding that with us.
Yes, you are quite welcome. It is involving each and every one of you. You are a part of the Earth Collective. That energy is a manifestation of other parts of the collective. Being aware of what is within you always shows you what is outside. In that essence, we express a great love to all entities who have been affected or who are connected to this concept. And for those of you who are not connected, we also wish to express that you are loved.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
All right. Well, our first question is coming from Jamie. And she says, I met my twin soul 14 years ago. He told me 3 years ago of our connection. He remembers at least 4 past incarnations, but I don't remember anything. The last 3 years, I have been angry with him and with this process. Right now, I am in a place of surrendering. No matter what he does to me, I will still love him. I would like to know, what is our history so I can better understand our duality? Who are we and what solar system are we from? You have my permission to tap into my energy at any time.
Yes, first of all, when we are looking at this concept, we wish to use a different terminology. The twin soul in our own vocabulary means a great deal of difference from the way that it is expressed in this instance. So what we will say is this is called a twin flame in the perception of those who connect one person more important to them in their connection than others. But let us address the twin flame concept. The twin flame idea is one fractal out of truly infinite amount of fractals that are available to you, that are connected to you, that can be connected to you in each moment. You can feel such a great pull and draw from any of the thousands of soulmates that you have within your oversoul. Hundreds of them which live in this now moment in proximity to you, locationally, geographically. So in that essence, we perceive this entity more so as a soulmate than we do a twin flame. And that is because the vibrational frequency on the undertoned energy is much different than that in which would be a twin flame. So with that set forward, what we can express to you, there are a great deal of many incarnations in which you have shared, but almost every entity you are aware of in this lifetime that you have felt close connection to, whether it be from your heart in a romantic way, a sexual way, or even those who are connected to you in a family or friend way. Almost all of those entities have spent at least half of a dozen of lifetimes with you. So in that essence, you have history with almost everyone who you have history with in this incarnation. What we can suggest to you, and what we try to suggest to all entities, try not to invest a great deal of your energy in previous incarnations as it pertains to the energy that you feel for someone in this lifetime. And the reason why we say this is, out of all of the lifetimes we perceive that you have connected to this entity, there are more happy and connected incarnational times with one another than there were negative. The only reason that you are connecting to the more negative ones in this moment is due to the circumstances in this lifetime that has caused you to have turmoil and disagreements. Now we understand there are some moments where you feel that your frustration or disengagement with this entity is caused by literally nothing. That literally coming out of nowhere is this feeling of disconnection, frustration, or disconnection with this entity. What we can tell you is this, that because you are suggested that you have had many incarnations with this entity, because you suggested that your feelings of disconnection could not be this lifetime, that it had to have been one of your previous incarnations, that gives you the seed of belief. And that seed of belief can cause a great deal more momentum in that ideal. So now, with that expression that was told to you, with the belief invested in it, you have now gained more access to more negative previous incarnations. Although there are many dozens of lifetimes with this entity, you are only connecting to the more negative ones in this moment. And that is because you have originally started down that previous incarnations with a negative thought process, with the thinking that all of those things must be negative by proxy or by communication internally with this entity. What we would suggest to you, if you desire to find a way to flush more of these negative incarnations away from your energy now, is try to remind yourself your perceivable past incarnations are just that. They are perceivable, and they are only perceivable by you because you have invested enough energy into allow. Your life in this moment is not connected to any other incarnation unless you allow that energy, unless you allow the knowledge to connect you. You say that you have no memory of the incarnations of past, but you have an awareness that they were existent in the first place. We express the term karma very delicately. Karma is something that most entities believe occurs within a past lifetime and is brought into this existence. And we would say that that is not true, that in that way karma does not exist. Those incarnations are not your past incarnations. They are simultaneously occurring, as is infinite amounts of incarnations with both that entity and without that entity in your existence. So in that essence, by seeing, feeling, and believing that there could be or are past incarnations that are negative, that you are connected, you are bringing all of those closer to our definition of the twin soul. Our definition quite different than yours of twin soul, but we will say this for the sake of brevity. It is a mechanism that coincides with your oversoul, that goes through all of the probabilities and hands you the one that is most vibrationally fit for you in that moment. Disallowing yourself to connect to those previous incarnations, disallowing those previous incarnations also to affect your mood, energy, or mindset in this life will do you a great favor. In that essence, by allowing yourself to know that what you create in this moment truly dictates all of the things parallel, forward, backwards, in your existence will be the key of salvation in this area. Know that anything you think, feel, believe in this moment is what will connect with you in all of those parallel existences. Vibrate on the concept that I must only feel, see, or perceive what this entity and myself have in this moment, in this incarnation, and that is where your alignment of energy can go forward. Even if you start looking at 2 or 3 years behind you in your past, that is still not in the moment enough. That still allows you to draw your perceptions of who this entity is from the past version. Now, we wish to express that we must get to other questions, but before we get to that concept, think of this very deeply or very connectedly to your sense of awareness in both your third chakra and your heart. There are literally 5 versions that you are all dealing with in that relationship dynamic. There is the you that you are aware of, the it that the other person is aware of, the you that the other person perceives, the other person that you perceive, and the couple collected connection. Now, there are literally 7 in all. There are 2 more when you are dealing with the ones that you perceive, but we are not trying to confuse you. So if you look at those 5 that we give you, look at how that experience is. See who you believe this entity is, and allow yourself to see how this entity believes that they are. By doing that, and by knowing that that entity looks at you in a different way than the way you exist, and focus all of your energy in the now, it can clear a great deal of this energy. We thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Aridif.
Yes.
You're so amazing. I love how detailed you are and how much you give with each answer.
Yes, and you are all quite amazing yourself, included Kalina.
All right, so our next question is coming from Michael, and this is actually a question he was trying to get last month, so he is very excited to hear what you have to say about this.
Yes.
So thank you, Michael, and thank you for your patience. His question is, what is the probability of the U.S. economy crashing within the next couple of months? I do not as this based, but more of an excited based question for the potential new system that will come. And I think he meant to say fear based. He doesn't mean for it to be fear based, but he's excited to know of the new potential system that could come.
Yes, we understand. In this point in energy, in the next 2.5 months, there is less than 11% probability of the entirety of the system crashing or disconnecting from what it is. In the next 2.5 months, the energy that you desire to be in most, you can change that probability. You can change it to being under 11% to being more than 90%. Allowing yourself to do that is to change your overall vibration about what you desire in your future. Right now, your heart and mind together say at one voice that it determines what others do. It determines both the local economy, the national economy, and the world economy, to know what is going to happen next, or to allow an entirety of a system to crash financially in order to gain a new system, a more resistant, free, and harmonious system. But what we can tell you is that if you allow yourself to understand that your vibrational energy can shift into or out of any reality you desire just by feeling that vibration, allowing your belief to support that vibration, allowing your energy to swell up within you, living every part of that experience you desire. For instance, you see that all of the banking systems in the world, if that is your desire, to see them dissipate and then rebuild themselves in a free share economy, then what you would do is start visualizing that happening. Start visualizing your own consciousness shifting into that reality. Start collecting gold. Start reading more material about what or how to experience that free trade system. Place all of the extra energy and all of your excitement within, putting your vibration as if that already exists in this moment, and that will shift that perception much lower than 11% to much higher than 90%. Just that shift in itself can cause you a great experience to be had. Now understand, you are in a collective consciousness in this moment. That collective consciousness also allows the part in the percentage of manifestation and co-creation with you. But by changing your vibration, you are taking yourself out of a system that is not willing to co-create that experience with you as much, to one that is very willing to do so. Allow your energy to shift, your excitement, your energy to be placed within those excitements. Let go of the beliefs that it depends on others to cause the system. Know that you yourself can cause that system to come into reference of your own perception and come to fruition in your overall vibration. We thank you.
Thank you so much, Narada.
Yes.
All right. Let's see who we had here. We have something, a question from Sarah Smile. She says, please, when disclosure happens, will you help ease people's minds on your intentions for being here? There will be some who won't understand, I'm sure.
Yes. Now, first of all, when it comes to the concept of our own race landing on your planet, we can tell most of you that in the percentage of probability now that most all of you will be into your next life or even more lives before you see our race come to your planet. The same as Treb Bor Yit NE's race, and there is a great reason for that. When contact is made, it is often made with those who are most vibrationally, physically appearing similar to yourself. For instance, if Treb Bor Yit NE were to land upon your planet in this day, there is a great majority of you who would have a heart attack with the physical appearance of this entity. He would appear to be very large and intimidating to your eyes. Even though most of you know who Treb Bor Yit NE is in your heart, you feel that vibration, the physical presence of this entity would be a little bit different of a vibration in how you feel his energy through Rob's physical body. And there are several reasons for that. First of all, channeling, as Treb Bor Yit NE does with Rob, is a vibration that is slightly different than Treb Bor Yit NE in his physical, and that is because Rob's consciousness is also connected. But also, Treb Bor Yit NE exists in the highest realm of the fifth density. You are just starting your fourth. If Treb Bor Yit NE were to meet you face to face, then you would have to experience an avatar version of this entity. He would have to break apart his consciousness, manifest a physical body into the third to fourth density exchange, and then come face to face with you. Then you are experiencing the concept of the overall vibration. Now we understand your question is leading in another area, but we will tie it around to come back into that loop. If you are patient with us, we will be able to loop that back for you quite easily. Now, if you are vibrating with entities that are similar physical appearance, then you can experience a little less ease or a little less lack of ease in your own heart chakra as a collective. We are not speaking of you personally, but as a collective. That is the way to open conversations face to face. That is how it has always been done, or at least for the majority how it has been done. So dealing with entities on that level, very slow at first, but it takes time in order for you to open up your planet as a galactic hub. Once that occurs, the vibrational entities that are of your density, which now is the fourth density, you will experience fourth density beings first. Right now, if fourth density being landed in front of you, the majority of you would not be able to see them. You would not be able to experience them because you are still in that third to fourth density exchange. So the majority of humans would not even be able to co-create an experience with that entity. So going through that experience in itself, you would be able to perceive the difficulty of those who want to connect with you to the way that you could experience it now. Now let us say, for instance, that all hesitation of co-creation was gone by the earth, or at least a percentage high enough to deal with that energy, to be able to experience the open arms of letting another race in. Then you will still have to work with those entities. There will not be an automatic trust factor. All the entities who come into contact with humans first can do is show them their intention through actions. We understand that Earth is not a highly telepathic race yet. So with the entities who first land. They know that the only way you can see into their hearts is for them to show you their intent through manifestation, their gifts to you of sharing. Now, it is not unheard of, or is it uncalled for races to share technology with you. In fact, there are a great deal of races who are connected to your governments, sharing technology with them, but not in the collective. Those who would land, who would co-create and show themselves publicly, would be those of the caliber who are willing to show the entirety of the collective how to work with more energies, perhaps, that are green by your standards, that are even better than green, that are free energy without any connection to the environment, any waste in your lands. So those entities would be very easily able to show you their intent. But regardless of how much gifts they were to give you, regardless of how much energy they would be able to put in to showing you their intent, there would still be reservation by other groups of humans. That is why this creation has not happened yet. There is still such a great degree of disconnection with humans to extraterrestrials there is such a lack of trust with their own race members as humans, let alone galactic friends, that it would be very difficult for that to occur in this moment. Now, we turn the tables back to all of you. When you all are ready as a race, it will occur. We understand everyone who is sitting here in this moment, everyone who is listening and sharing is ready for the co-creation of that magnitude. But many of you, again, just as the last question we took, are in a co-created environment that does not believe. So what can you do? You can do the same things as the last question. You can start placing yourself in a vibrational frequency of imminent disclosure. You can all place yourself in an environment that allows all others around you to at least be willing to open up, to think of that idea. In this collective consciousness, there are much more humans who are willing and understanding there are other races out there than most of you would believe or think. So by vibrating at a level in where there is no resistance in expressing the desire by the entirety of the collective, you can place your probability to a much higher degree. Place your energy and intent, remove your beliefs of resistance. Right now, a great deal of you say, with a government that is in place now, with the stubbornness of many religions, there will not be a chance to have disclosure anytime soon. That belief helps you enforce that reality. That belief helps you land that manifestation in front of your feet. Try to remove those beliefs. Try to reinforce the more resistant-free beliefs that you are going to make contact, that it is imminent, and that you are part of it. We thank you.
Thank you so much, Aridif. And just so you know,
Yes.
I turned up the air conditioner because I noticed you were melting a little bit there.
Yes, thank you.
All right, let's see. Oh, we've got our next question. I was posting a new one down here. Tourmaline Dragonfly, and I just love that profile name. Amazing. Her question is for Treb, so I'll have you bring in Treb.
Yes, one moment, we will connect you.
Hey, Treb. How are you?
Good evening, Kalina.
Good evening. You always make me laugh because you have the biggest, most joyful smile.
Yes, and you have a very joyous and great smile as well.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Before I get into Tourmaline Dragonfly's question, and I realized you could be male or female, so I apologize for assuming that. But I just wanted to ask Treb, did you have anything you wanted to add since we just welcomed you in for anything that was said, or did you want to just jump right into the question?
Yes, the concept I wish to share with all of you in this day is that I am very grateful to be with you, and I love you very much.
Well, we love you too, Treb.
Yes.
All right, now for Tourmaline Dragonfly's question. The question is, what is your insight on long hair adding to the endocrine system and making ESP and other powers higher than having shorter head hair? Thank you in advance.
Yes. First of all, when you are speaking of elongated hair, there is a great deal of truth to those who believe that long hair is a systematic antenna of the physical body to allow not only, perhaps as you would see it to be, telepathic communication, but it also is a part of your physical body and in animals' physical bodies that become a connected antenna to the entirety of the systems around them. Now, energetically, how that works is that there are receptors, energetically speaking, within your hair that connect to what most of you call the etheric grid or the electromagnetheric grid that is around your planetary consciousness. Now, this grid is a very complex grid. It's one that is very exciting to look upon. It does not only connect every human to every human around the world, it connects each different race of animals to be with those other animals energetically, directly connected. So let us use, for example, all of the canines within your planet are connected to the other canines, but more specifically, each of the dachshunds are connected to the other dachshunds. Each of the subspecies of all of the dogs are connected, first of all, in their own miniature grid that connects all of their own subspecies, but then the higher layer connects their overall breed of dogs, and then yet even the higher level connects all of those that are canine-like, and then even higher levels connecting all that is mammal, and then even higher connecting all that is animal, then even higher connecting all that is a part of the human collective consciousness of second density beings. So in this great grid, it gives all of you the opportunity to connect with any animal, any energy, any species, or any other of one another on this planet. And the hair is highly tuned into that energy on the highest level of the grid that connects each and every one of all of the first, second, third, and third to fourth density exchange beings. So as you are using that connection, you are able to utilize your own telepathy that will engage with other entities. And in this level, short-haired entities do not have less of an advantage than those with long hair. But in the real time, how it would work, let us say, for instance, if you are out in nature and there is an entity or a bear or a dog or a lion that is in distress, you are much more quickly able to experience that there is a hostility towards you with the longer hair. But if you are with shorter hair in that moment, you are still able to feel the overall vibration. You are still able to feel that there is negative energy around you. But it just happens to be that when you are with the longer hair, that it is more quickly that you are able to pick this up, but also you are able to feel out a little more deeply about what the possibility of that entity could be. And that is only the physical connections that you share with your body, the energetic thread that connects your physical hair to your energetic body and energetic self. But when all of you can bypass short hair, long hair, or no hair at all, you are able to connect into your third eye and crown chakra and use a fully energetic connection. So in that essence, your hair is connected very deeply, but it is only one tool of many to use ESP, telepathy, and your psychic abilities.
Thank you so much, Treb.
Yes, you are very welcome.
Oh my goodness, that's so exciting. I'm going to scan across and see if there's some more questions. I know sometimes people just kind of leave it up to you guys, so I'm looking to see if there's anybody in particular had you. Let's see.
It is very acceptable if there is no one in the local vicinity who desires a more specific or pointed question. We will.
I do see one.
Yes, we will be able to answer this very well.
Okay, good. Because I know sometimes we don't get enough time with you.
Yes.
All right.
Even if it feels as if it is not enough time, there is most definitely a greatest appreciation, even if 1 millisecond is shared with you in this way. And even when I am not coming through the host physical body, I am still able to experience all of you quite as well. But I understand that in the human perspective, in the way that you like to communicate with others, that seeing my presence here makes you feel more comfortable with knowing that I am here.
Yes, that's true. I wish there was a way that somehow you both, like, you do transfer back and forth, but I just wait for somehow the day where we can have both of you at the same time. All right. Well, the question for you, and I think there were maybe one or two others, but the one I see specifically for you is coming from Kristania, and she says, I would love some information on my galactic connections, especially to the Arcturians, with whom I feel most connected. As you know, I can relate.
Yes! In this concept, every human, at least in some portion or percentage, has a connection to the Arcturian energy, as it is one portal of consciousness that is connected from your own physical self to your energetic spiritual self. So in that essence, all of you, if you desire to, have a great connection to Arcturian energy in general, but in that essence, for you, it is much greater. The reason you feel such great resonance with the Arcturian energy is because there is one race specifically in the Arcturian star system that is connected to you throughout your oversoul, but more specifically into your localized galactic family consciousness. So in that essence, as you perceive the Arcturian energy, there are 4 entities that connect you through your sleep state, 4 entities that connect with you through other states of consciousness, such as awareness, perhaps as you would perceive it to be, intuition that you have is often connected to those entities in those moments. So as you are connected to these entities, there is a great deal of information that you are able to access if you desire. We understand that your question is more so how you are connected to that concept.
And sorry to break in, I also noticed she had added, she also wanted some insight on the idea of working with them via channeling, which was recently offered to her. So I think you were picking up on that.
Yes, in that concept, when you are working with these entities, the more that you are aware of their energy and how it feels, the more that it will be helpful to you and will be able to be accessed by you. But in the sleep state is where the building of that relationship should be built. You are already connecting with all 4 of these entities very frequently in your dream state, but being able to bring back that energy in a conscious and aware way will be very helpful to you to be able to learn how to work with this and how to play more with that Arcturian energy. So before you sleep, try to learn what the constellation Boetes appears to be in your own night sky. In the middle of the constellation, the most brightest, the largest and the reddest of stars that are appearing in front of your visible eyes, start looking at the entirety of the constellation, then zoom inward to that red bright star. That star is known as Arcturus in your own night sky. That is where they reside. So as you are getting ready to sleep, focus, visualize, zoom in on that energy. And as you are zooming in on that energy, start using the oming process by allowing your throat to vibrate, going om, om, om. And as you continue that oming sound and the vibration of zooming in, it allows you to connect with them more directly before sleep state, which means that they will help connect your energy as you are sleeping.
But before you get to that part of the sleep state, we must preface this by expressing that the greatest way to prepare yourself before sleep state is by creating your breathing circuit, breathing inwards deeply and slowly, and outwards deeply and slowly, then relaxing all of the physical muscles, every single muscle and muscle group in your body. And then after that, you allow yourself to close your eyes and to be able to feel your chakra systems. And then you start using the visualization that we have expressed, and this will help you very deeply. The more that you work with these entities, the more that the ability to channel them will come into fruition. And we suggest that you start by working with written channeling first, by when you are using that visualization and your body is relaxed and your breathing circuit has occurred, to put your hand on the paper and just start moving it. And the more that you do this, the more that you will see words and symbols occur in that moving of your hand that you are doing. And the more that it will help them build a relationship with you so that you may start channeling them.
Treb, thank you so much.
Yes, you are very welcome.
Thank you. We love you so much.
Yes, and I love you very much as well.
And there's, as we move forward, there will be questions that are either for you or Aridif, so whoever is more excited, feel free to come forward.
Yes, and we will connect you to Aridif in this moment.
Okay.
We must also hydrate the host.
Absolutely. Here, I'll help you guys.
One moment, please.
Okay. Welcome back.
We are back without hesitation or delay. This is Aridif.
Here you go, Aridif.
Thank you.
All right. And how are you feeling? You're feeling better with the air on?
Yes, in both ways we are comforted, but Rob's physical body is much more in tune with the vibration of the cooler atmosphere.
Absolutely. All right. I'm glad to help you out.
Yes.
Now, I wanted to check in with you because I know sometimes you all are able to bring in other entities. For anybody that's new and doesn't know this, there's a reason why Rob is called the ET Whisperer, because even though his main guides that your channels are Aridif and Treb, he also can channel, bring in forward other entities, of course, if they are able to come forward in that moment or are willing or wanting to. Iveta is wondering if Shayla can come forward because she has a couple of short questions for her, and was wondering if she is able to come forward in this moment.
Yes, one moment we will hydrate Rob's throat and then we will start our connection process. One moment.
Wonderful. Thank you.
I am so happy to be able to talk to you again, dear friend.
Thank you so much for being here, Shayla. I'm going to read Veta's questions for you, starting with this one. She says, on June 3rd, 2013, I met a woman that shifted me to see rainbows, and I thought she was an angel. When you brought this memory a second time, it shifted me greatly again. Was that you?
The perception of woman wasn't fully the woman as you saw. It was an energy that you created within your own third eye that manifests something much different. It manifests the true feminine energy that runs through the connection that we share. And as we have shared our connection to each other, we have been able to find a great deal of things about ourselves. The angel was there for you when you needed it, just as you have been there for me when I've needed it, and just like I've been there for you when you've needed it. It's a mixture of our energy together. It's a mixture from many other feminine beings that come through you, many different feminine energies that go through your physical body and through your soul. And that connection that we've shared helped entice the experience to be faster and quicker and more recent to you. It could have been many years till you were able to see that, but the love that we've shared has made it possible to experience faster communication and faster manifesting.
Thank you. And she also wanted to, she said she also wanted to ask this question. She says, once I was drawing you, and I received you and have some small percent of my DNA, and with it also came the strong emotion of being touched. Did I get it right? And how similar are our lower fractal consciousnesses?
The last part of the question says what?
How similar are our lower fractal consciousnesses?
I understand now. At first I misheard the words as the energy I felt was different. The experience of our lower fractal consciousnesses are very similar. As we've talked about before, the vibration of our overall selves are pretty similar in a lot of ways. It's very similar in our desires and our friendship and our wanting to grow and our wanting to be able to connect to other people and other places and other energies. So that is always very similar. And the feelings of being touched and the feelings of being embraced and the feeling of the heart as it swells and heats up with love is the part of us that is connected so strongly. It gives us that great opportunity to share ourselves with each other. And that energy has been able to give you a lot of experiences that if we wouldn't have met each other might have been longer time periods or maybe a little less felt or experienced. Your and my vibration being so similar brings us together. That is what makes us feel so connected to each other.
You're such a sweet being, Shayla. I love it when you come through, Rob, to speak.
Thank you, Kalina. And it's always so fun and it's so exciting for me to be able to speak to our friends and to be able to be here with you in your presence and with Rob. It's very, very fun.
It is. And not only that, it's a beautiful reflection to see you connecting with Iveta. It shows like we all have these connections to these dear beings. And it's beautiful to watch that interaction. And also helps to remind all of us that we have these connections with vast amounts of beings who love us so much. And I thank you for being here and being connected with us, and also for you and Iveta for being willing to openly share this so we can see that experience and also have that reflection. So thank you.
You are welcome, and thank you too. And to my dear friend and my soul, I love you very much. And when I bring myself to you, remember that I am there more than just the times that you feel me. I love you.
love you. And say hi to my hybrid kids for me when you go back. Hi, Aridif.
We are back yet again.
All right. You need more water? Here we go.
Yes.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. As you get your water, I'm going to go ahead and read our next question for you from Cosmic Heart Whisperer. That's another great profile name. I love it.
Yes.
The question goes, greetings. Could you shed some light on the Asian self that I am connecting with, especially when I'm doing sound healing and light language frequencies? Thank you. You are loved. Oh, this is coming from Megan. Hi, Megan.
Yes, and what is the first 3 words?
Shoot, I just deleted it. Let me see.
Yes, it is the word before the word self.
I would really have to go back and look. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I didn't catch it. I'd really have to scroll back. Why don't I read another question and I'll try to recover it at a later time?
Yes. Are you familiar with the concept of the word if we were to express it? We believe that you heard, or that we heard the word aging self. Is that correct?
Let me look at I'm so sorry. What I do is I delete them after they're asked. Oh, thank you. She just reposted. Thank you, Megan. Could you shed some light on the Asian being that I'm connecting with, especially when I'm doing sound healing and light language frequencies?
Yes, now we understand. You are saying an entity who appears to be as your own Earth's Asian.
Correct. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, we understand. There are many entities within the galactic consciousness that have the appearance, such as many entities that live upon your Asian continent. Your own energy specifically is connecting to a race that is beyond the Pleaidian system. It is more so towards the Orion constellation when you are looking at it, but it does not appear in the mainstream of any one constellation. It is a star system that has no name to Earth. It is a star system that also has no Earth connection, as far as your records or your history says so. But this race has occurred several hundreds of thousands of years ago in your own history and connected to earlier versions of human consciousness. After Atlantis occurs and before the human existence, going back upwards in your timeline from the concepts of the Sumerian times, these entities connected, and they did connect to the humans that are now in the southern and eastern Asia area. They connected them, sharing small parts of their own knowledge with them, also sharing the concept of small portions of DNA. So this is one entity, one group that is connected to you. Now, in this energy, we are not connected to this race, but they carry 3 different names that are vibrationally across the galactic consciousness. One of these energies is Omin, and the other energy is not very easily pronounced with the human tongue, but would sound similar to a and the other 3rd word is Omanaki, and the Omanaki is the most easy vibration for the human consciousness to connect to. It is one that brings forward a representation of their energy. Now, that you understand the race in its entirety, this one entity is connected to you for various reasons. It comes from this race, but is independent in its own desire to connect with you. This race has played a great deal of time not connecting with humans after that occurrence, because their desire to let you achieve your own natural evolution, to allow you to all achieve a vibrational frequency of your own choosing. This entity now comes forward as the first pioneer of its race since the time that it's connected to you. It comes to you for a very specific reason. Your concept of open contact, vibrationally and non-physically, has already started to occur. It has been occurring for decades, but now the release of the energy upon your Earth Collective is off. There was always a concept that we would not interfere with humans beyond certain points of time. That time has expired for some years now. These entities are desiring to work, but this one entity feels your energy. And the way that it is able to feel your energy is through your Pleaidian or Arcturian energies. It is aware of the family that you carry within that own energetic cell. It is in contact with both Pleaidian and Arcturian beings as they feel your presence through their connection to some of the same entities from those two races in your own oversoul. It is able to feel its way through that deep disconnection that it had for over 100,000 years, and is able to experience you more close-handedly. In that experience, it provides an opportunity to start working with you in teaching. In the sound vibration in artistic matters, this entity is a very high excitement or very high developmental energy that would co-create those energies with you. For reasons nothing more than excitement and intrigue, it gives you all of the energy it can in those co-creations. We thank you.
Thank you so much, Aridif.
Yes.
Our next question comes from Robert H. He says, years ago, I saw a movie, The Name of the Rose. There were two groups of monks discussing about being poor, rich, money, if Jesus used money. Can you bring in Jesus himself for sharing his perception?
Yes, first of all, the layers of Jesus are quite extensive. In fact, there are so many different versions of that energy alone. That is why you do not hear very similar stories when it comes to from channeled entities. There is the Jesus that the collective consciousness of Catholics has provided. There is the Jesus that the collective consciousness of Protestants has provided. There is also Yeshua. There is also energies of what each and every one of you individually connect to. If we are looking at the version of Jesus in which Rob is greatest connected to, we could bring forward that energy, but he has not built a very high standard of connection with Rob's consciousness, because Rob's interest in connecting to that consciousness has not even been thought of within his own mind. As great as his desire is to channel, his desire to channel entities that are part of the Earth Collective has not brought his energy enough close to any of those entities that have experienced the Earth Collective consciousness firsthand. So in that essence, we would not desire to waste anyone's time with a connection that would very smallly be able to be put through in a legible or comprehensive way.
Right, and he thought that that might possibly be the case.
Yes.
I'm just curious, if you're familiar enough to connect with the version that Robert, the version of Jesus that Robert is connected with, to maybe reiterate a message. And he also said, if this particular connection isn't possible for today, are there any beings like guides, soul guides, or anything of that nature that might be wanting to connect with him to give him a message for today?
Yes, we will bring forward one of the guides from Robert himself, and that way we can allow that connected consciousness to be at the forefront of capability to be heard, capability to be felt, and co-creative ability to become overextended within the consciousness of connecting. Now, when we connect to all of the entities that you perceive as historical figures, we are able to do so, but Rob is first and must build his own bridge of connection. There is only one human consciousness that Rob has been able to build a bridge enough with that allows a clear communication, but he has not even thought to do so. This consciousness is known to all of you as Alexander, and Rob would be able to channel this entity more specifically if he would desire to do so. But in this day, we will bring forward Robert's guide. There is an entity who desires to speak with you, who is from a realm that is not quite galactic and not quite human. It is one from a point of existence and point of your energy in where humans have already transcended the physical element and is waiting to go full blast into fourth density. Some of you call this level of creation ascended masters. Some of you call them non-incarnated beings. Some of you just call them spirits. But this entity is one that is directly connected to yourself. We will bring him forward. One moment. We must hydrate Rob before connecting.
Yes, and I have to attend to Chini's food.
Yes, one moment. We will connect you.
She makes us scoop her tuna.
I am grateful to be able to speak in this day, Robert, dear friend, watching over. My eyes have become wide, feeling over. My hands have become soft, expanding over. With the love of my heart, my chest has become large. And I connect you today with happiness. You may call me Augusta. The question that is asked is what? What message do we have? The question to ask is, how will this message be provided? The message of connection that we bring to you is simple. It only brings one word to mind: self. When you look inside of yourself, the main part of your own self, the part of you that walks down the street and the part of you that knows what it is to be human. Who are yourself? What is yourself? How can you be yourself? There are so many things that you've been taught in the last few years that truly can help liberate the mind. Some of it can help liberate the heart. But there is nothing that you can be taught that liberates the self. This is exclusively self-teaching. This is exclusively self-taught. I want to share with you a few tools of how to teach yourself that. How to remove all things from knowing yourself. The greatest teachers of your time and times before have said, know thyself. Meaning what? Knowing your thoughts, knowing your emotions, knowing your desires. That's only knowing a small part of you. That's only knowing a little piece of who Robert is. Knowing the whole self. Does that mean that you need to know what guides are with you? Does that mean that you need to know how many other people have the same connections through star systems that you haven't been able to visit? No, that means nothing of the such. It is information to have, information that you can carry in your mind and in other parts of your energy, but that doesn't get you to know yourself. The tool to know yourself is to ask the questions and to bounce those questions off yourself and others. Knowing how other people see you is a very fresh starting point. Ask those who you know, the ones who are closest to you. Give me 3 things that you think about when you see me. 3 things that you think about when you conversate with me. 3 things that describe me, that come from a knowing of who I am. Getting all of those names, it will give you an idea of how others perceive you. Why is that important? Why is that needed to be a part of your equation? Those people come into your life because you brought them in directly. And they brought you in to their lives because you needed to be reflections for each other. When they tell you what they think of you, that's something inside of you that sees the exact same thing. This is how you think of yourself, whether you can admit that initially or not. When you talk and you listen, you know it's true. The closest people to you give you these words, and that tells you a great deal about how you think of yourself. How you see yourself is always going to be knowing yourself, but we need to erase that too. We need to be able to get past all of the worldly crap and all of the things of people's attitudes and thoughts and remove that. So first you have to stop seeing yourself as all of those names defined. Some of them are flattering, some of them are strong and passionate, others are distant, hard. All of it doesn't matter, good and bad. You need to be able to remove that. Remove the words, remove the feelings from what those words mean. Look at your actions in the last year. Look on what you've done with others around you for the world's benefit, for your benefit, and how you have done those. What was your driving motivator? If you shared your life with many friends and gave them whatever you could, that is a wonderful thing. But if you've done it from feelings of guilt or feelings that you need to, that is not good. That does not give you the true you. What it shows you is that you have fear if you're giving it to them from a place of feeling like you have to. So look at that. What causes that fear? If I don't give to people, others won't think I'm good. So this means that others' way that they perceive you affects you, which means that the very first thing that you have to do to get through is going to be the hardest. Asking others how they feel and see about you. Once you realize that when you see yourself in a positive way, when all of the friends, after repeating, begin to ask the same questions and give the same answers, that you're starting to truly feel, that's when you'll no longer need to be afraid of that energy. Just knowing your actions and just knowing the reasons behind will show you more about yourself than any other person or any other meditation can ever do for you. Be aware of your actions, dear friend, and think strongly on what motivates you to go through them. You'll be pleasantly surprised to see that many things that you have feared as a human being, and this goes for all others who hear, we feel more ears there than one, that when you truly get past it, there is nothing to be afraid of and nothing to be ashamed of. You have all chosen this very hard path for such a very great reason, and your actions will always lead you to the truest you. We are feeling time constraints, so we remove ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here.
We are back without hesitation or delay. This is Aridif.
Thank you, Aridif. Need some more water?
Yes, this is acceptable. We must understand your linear time.
Yes, it is 15 minutes till 4. We still have a couple people who haven't had any questions asked yet. So.
Yes, so we move forward.
Yes, alrighty. Did you want me to stop questions right at 4 o'clock?
We will go through into the time. Rob's physical body is needing a relief or rest moment, but we know that a lot of time is enough. You can check in with the physical body at that point afterwards.
Absolutely. All right. Our next question comes from Anthony. He says, I've been remembering my dreams as if they were actual events. Sometimes I'll have a memory and I will perceive that it happened in real life, only to realize later that it was just a dream.
Yes, and that is because you are moving into the fourth density, where your dream state and awakened consciousness become less and less solidified. When you are going through your fourth density consciousness, when you are looking more deeply at your dream state, you can find that universal mechanism that allows your energy to flow from both of them. Now, these are very advanced techniques for those who have mastered the fourth density, but trying them allows you to open up your energy. So let us teach you one exercise for fun and for the expansion of all of you who desire. First of all, sleeping state. This requires understanding both the schedule and both understanding the nature of your physical body as you sleep. Going forward, try to remind yourself of when you feel the most awake. Sometimes many of you sleep right as you are at your highest point of awakeness. Try to work with your schedule. Try to get your physical body to only sleep when it is tired and only awake when it is desiring to be awake. And at that peak of consciousness, where all of you feel the most awake, we would desire for you to use a meditative technique. First of all, close your physical eyes. When you are doing it, all of the things that we would tell you normally, relax your physical body, start your breathing circuit, connect to your grounding technique. After all of this is achieved, then you will start visualizing yourself in a bed, laying down, sleeping. You will perceive yourself standing over yourself as you are sleeping. Now you are placing an emblem that is approximately this size, that size emblem on each chakra, different colors. You are correlating the color of your chakras to the color of these insignias, emblems. The very first chakra at the very root, you will place this emblem, color of red. You will produce a circle. Then on the second, you will produce a straight line. On the third, a triangle. The fourth, a square. The fifth, pentagon. Sixth, hexagon. And on the crown, an infinity symbol. You will place this on your body in the visualization. Now you will start working from the top chakra in the bottom, going inward to the middle. Once you have reached the middle, placing hand on each one as you go down towards the middle, press your hand on both insignias at once, and then you will express yourself as each touch occurs, building that energy to open the sleep state wide, to open the barriers of the sleep state. So touch, move inward towards the center chakra. Place both hands over the center chakra, expressing that there is no more division between your living and your sleep state. Allow your consciousness to flow through your hands, adding energy to yourself in this visualization. After all this occurs, the version of you who is sleeping in your dream state visualization will stand up next to you, and you will both merge into one person. The person laying down signifies your sleep state consciousness. The one awake, your awakened state consciousness. This is a visualization showing you that your awakened state consciousness still has control of the sleep state consciousness, that realm together comes in both states, awakened and sleeping, and that by merging the both of them, it will tear down the walls that divide the two. Now, when you have mastered fourth density, what we are saying is there is still possibilities for you to have sleep state, but the way that you experience your life at the end of fourth density is going to be greatly akin to how your sleep state works now. You will be able to start creating your environment more instantaneously. You will start having that sixth sense feel as if it is strong as your touch, smell, taste, all of those things. Your integration of synchronicities will be outstanding in your own mind compared to now. Work on that and it will help drive those two states together. And while you have that experience, when you remind yourself that that experience was in dream state, do not place investment in your belief that it is any less real. The more that you invest, then you might be able to find, while you are sleeping, you find $1 million, and while you are awake, you can have access to it as well. Thank you.
I think that is fascinating. I'm going to have to go over that too. This might be common. I don't know for others, but I remember as a child, I couldn't figure out sometimes if I had a dream of if something had, happened in this particular reality. And I remember having those problems that to this day, I'll have memories of like, I'm not sure if I dreamed that or not. So it's really a beautiful perspective that you shared and for us to go over. Thank you, Aridif.
Yes.
How are you feeling right now? It's 3:52. Are you still feeling like you can take some more questions?
Yes, we may move forward.
Wonderful. We have a question from Omar. The question is, invisible beings around me make chirping sounds. What are they? What do they mean? And do they have any messages? Thank you.
Yes, first of all, the chirping sounds you hear, some of those are coming from exterior entities, ones that are known as birds. Some of them are coming from what you would consider higher dimensional beings who use manifestations of their consciousness to mimic your physical bird. Others are entities who are connecting into your consciousness, knowing that that sound in itself has a meaning to you. We are not aware of the meaning. We are not able to pierce that part of your energy. But you must ask yourself, what does the sound of the bird mean? Now, we understand an overall symbolism of birds, freedom. One of them is to be able to elevate yourself. Another is to be able to have an access to all that is high above the ground. So floating in the air, all of these things. Using your own symbolism, place it within that. Now, the entities who are using their consciousness are those that are connected to you directly, your guides. Those who are working from the higher densities are avian consciousness. That is why that bird sound is so familiar, not only to yourself, but to their co-creation with you. These avian entities are one that come from a star system called Talar. And Talar is in a constellation in which we are not sure of the name. Rob's mind does not carry access, but it is only visible in the southern hemisphere, and it is only visible close to the area that some of you call the Crux constellation. That star that carries these avian entities is very deeply connected to those of you who have great deals of avian energy in your exterior energy or in your auric field. Many of you have access to avian consciousness upon this planet. Those of you who love birds, those of you who love the concept of birds, and those of you who just feel resonant with Native Americans or indigenous tribes who use those animals as totems or power animals or energetic links to past lives. That is why you resonate with them so deeply. Your energy within your auric field accepts the collective consciousness or the galactic collective consciousness of those that are avian by nature. So work with your connection to the avian consciousnesses, and you will be able to find not only more about yourself, but more about your connection with them. We thank you.
Thank you. Here's the water. Yeah,
Yes,
I was thinking
thank
that too, that would be a spirit animal. And I would definitely consider going out and speaking in any of the tribes or the shamans, any of the elders that could give you more information too, because it's amazing. And they know all about, as they refer to, star people, So I think that'd be very fascinating. Do you have time for 2 more questions, Narada?
We have time, in fact, for probably, with the highest probability, 1, with the physical body and way that the tact is. We must allow it to awake and for Rob's consciousness to come back in a very quick manner.
I was dying for one of the questions, but I know Deborah hasn't had a question asked, but I'll check in with you again just in case, but if not. So Deborah's question is, could you please tell me which entity or collective is giving me the blocks of information I seem to be receiving, and if they have a direct message for me? Thank you.
Yes, first of all, the blocks or downloads you are receiving comes majoritively from your higher self. Your higher fractalized consciousness has been quite busy these days. It has been working with you, integrating more consciousness. And from the last time that we have seen you, it has given you an opportunity of expanding by over 8%. So this gives you an opportunity to find more downloads, more accessible, and to find them more quickly. With that concept expressed, we will also add that there are many entities in your oversoul that have been working with you. Some of them you are aware, some of them you are not aware. A new entity that has only arrived in your own consciousness since the time period of October in last year has been an entity that is very interested in you. It is a reptilian hybrid by nature. It is not malevolent, nor is it benevolent, but it is an entity who is closer to the benevolent side of the type 2 spectrum that just wants to see what you are up to. It sees your reptilian connections in your past. It sees entities that are connected to you, such as Treb Bor Yit NE, that are connected to reptilian energy, and wants to understand how a human of your sort, a human of your energy, and a human of your time period has been allowed access to the great deals of energy that you have experienced, the great opportunities to work within your higher self and the higher fractal consciousness in the way it sends information. So this entity is with you and is not in any way trying to work difficulties of energy for you. It is just quite curious. We thank you.
Thank you.
We have time for this last question, then we must disconnect.
I'm so excited. I don't know, I'm like super excited about this question. This
Yes.
is coming from Michael P. He says, I had a dream where a UFO came down and I asked, is this Bashar? And I got a response saying, this is Sokar. Can you go over who that is? And he says you have permission to look into his energy.
Yes, are you able to spell the phonetics of the name?
Yes, he spells it S-O''Kar. Sokar.
Yes, first of all, this is a vibrational frequent remnant. So what we are saying is it is not, in our perception, the actual name of this being. It is not as if you were to walk forward and express what your name is, Rob to do so, or Kalina. Most of the galaxy does not work in those realms, but Sokar is an energetic signature. So this entity is representing to you a name just as we have, myself and Treb Bor Yit NE included, something that you are able to hold on to that represents the overall energy of this entity. When you are connecting to this being, it is a representation of two different energies. It is a representation of a humanoid consciousness, but also a gray hybrid consciousness. This is what you would perceive to be a dual collective connecting to you in the moment. Both of these entities that work together as one consciousness are trying to work in a conversation with you. They are both working on hybrid programs throughout the entirety of the galaxy with human as their main focus point. So in that essence, they see that you are available to them energetically. Your consciousness is expanded large enough in order for you to hear them more directly. So they are trying to work from their own essence in working telepathically with you to try to understand the way of humans better, especially that of those who are aware of themselves and those who are aware of what is occurring in the galactic consciousness. If you desire to work with them, all this will do in the effect of the overall energy is allow you one more source of reflection for your energy, but also will allow them better understanding how to connect with humans who are expanded in your perception, expanded in the perception of these beings expanded, and be able to allow them to co-create more effortlessly in the hybrid program. And we thank you. We first wish to express to all of you that it has been a great connection within our own ability to co-create with all of you. And in that co-creation, we also find out more about ourselves. We find out more about the parts of you that even some of you have hidden from yourself, and that allows us to do the same. It is often thought that we are not able to receive something from humans. Many humans perceive us as higher or bigger or larger than them, but we are, on all intents and purposes, equal to all of you. When we find something inside of your consciousness that allows our own consciousness to see that part of your own self, that reflection that it brings, it allows the greatest of co-creations for us all. We thank you for this. Kalina, we thank you.
Thank you so much for being here, Aridif.
Yes.
And to Treb. It really means a lot to us for you to come here and share your love and your friendship and your wisdom with all of us.
Yes, we are very grateful to do so also. We wish to express to you that we bid you all adieu for this evening. You are loved.
You are loved too.
Adieu.
Adieu. Welcome back, sweetie. Got some fuzzies in your eye.
Yeah. Can I see that for a second? I'm going to cut camera, guys, because I'm going to jump up real quick, and I've got to step into the dressing room for a minute. I'll be right back.
The restroom.
Are back. Hello. We want to let you guys know that we are so grateful for all of you coming in today and experiencing it. Me and Kalina are going to be hitting the road tomorrow on our way up to Asheville to set up for our event. So we won't be in touch for much longer, but if you guys use the same link that got you here today, that will be the same link that you guys can watch this again at and be able to see it. It takes a couple hours to prepare itself and everything. Some of you who have come today, we will see you in Asheville.
Yes.
We already know. So we'll see you guys in 5 days. Thank you, baby, as always, for doing a wonderful job doing this and being a part of it.
Yeah, that's why I'll come, for my moderating skills.
Exactly.
It's not because of Treb and Narada. Are you?
I would come just for you.
Oh, I know, baby. Thank you. I'll come just for you, too.
Well, that's good.
I missed you.
Yeah, I know. You got a big nose, that's why.
And I'm mostly a French nose. I have a big one, too. Do we have big noses?
Yours
Is that
isn't
a
like
thing?
mine, no. Well, maybe.
I
don't
like
know.
your nose. I think it's cute. Boop.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys have enjoyed thoroughly our nose playing, but I'm going to go, guys, because I'm tired a little bit, and I need to breathe it in.
He needs to ground himself. He gets to be human again.
Yeah, I get to be human again, and I love you guys very much. I'll see you guys in Asheville, and those of you who I don't, I'm going to be putting out that monthly Galactic Channeling video in 3 days, so have fun with that.
Word of the wise, if you're good at astral projecting, you can always attend for free.
Yeah. All right, guys, I love you very much.
We love you guys.
We will see you guys next month. We'll be doing this next month, and we'll put the date out on Facebook in a week or two for the next one. Pretty much count it 2 Sundays from now. So not the next Sunday. No, 4 Sundays from now. I'm too tired to talk about it, guys. I love you.
Month.
Yeah, 1 month, actually just 4 Sundays away. So count up 4 Sundays. That's when we'll be. Love you guys. We'll see you next month.
Mwah.
Mwah.